Welcome back to another episode of the Red Pill Cartel. I have Taylor North in the house, host of the incredible Dr. T Show. Welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. No, I'm not gonna do that. I could, if you want me to. I could just turn it off and on whenever you need. Red Pill. Can I call you Red Pill, or what name should I
Call me
uh
Davey.
what's up, David? What's up? Nice to
Davey. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. So you've been doing this show for 14 years now, you said?
That's right, since 2010.
And what inspired you to start?
Well, I attended Seneca at York for radio broadcasting, where the Dr. T show was born. We all the students there had their own 1 hour, eventually became 2 hours, and I just started having bands throughout Toronto, acts that are in Toronto, even just random acts that weren't in Toronto that were in town and they heard about my show. They came into the studio. I played their I played most of their tracks and singles. They bring in merch for giveaways, and it just rolled from there. It became, I mean, hell, it was like a karaoke show at one point. But I graduated, and I needed to find a few Toronto radio stations to work at. I've been fired from every single radio station I've ever worked at. Uh, really inane reasons that I maybe not talk about on here, but nothing. Okay, nothing you'd think about. Stuff like I took a Hershey's Kiss out of a gift basket. Fired.
Are you
I
serious?
I took a picture with Nelly Furtado. I was wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. Her publicist didn't like it. Fired. Stuff like that. And
Holy shit.
that's two of seven stations that I've worked at.
That's
And then
crazy.
I tried to keep it going on like sites like SoundCloud where I just do the audio, where I would just go out live to shows, live to band shows, interview them on the spot at the venue, and then it became more of a show. I got video entwined with it now, so it's more of an online YouTube show.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, it's doing what I do now. I started off with like conspiracy theories, paranormal shit like that, because I've always been fascinated by that stuff.
Yeah.
and and then I just grew an audience, and then I said, you know what? As a content creator, I could probably get my foot in the door with like artists and actors and stuff like that, and start interviewing them. So I just started doing that one day. I was just like, you just reach out to people and then it just happens, right? The worst they can do is say no, right?
Well, I
So
see it does happen for you a lot. I'm almost jealous. You know what? I am jealous. You got some good guests on there.
I do, yeah. And it's like I said, like I posted that one post. I said I just make shit happen. Like if you don't take a shot at contacting somebody, then you're obviously not gonna make it happen, right? But if they reply and say, yeah, let's do it, then cool. I've had
Always got to
like
try.
I've had certain musicians that I've reached out to, like Trevor Hurst from Econoline Crash, and he said email a manager. So I emailed his manager, and then I got declined. So I was like, okay, well, that's all right, you know.
I know how that is. I've been trying to get into contact with USS and Metric for years now, and it's basically the same deal. You get to the manager, and they just kind of swipe you to the right.
Yeah, it's like Tinder, right? Yeah, it's like I said, like you take the shot. If it happens, it happens. If not, whatever. On to the next one, right?
What would you say is the most well-known guest or artist that you've had on the Red Pill podcast?
Oh man. Um, had a few. Do you know the band Havoc?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had
Absolutely.
David Sanchez on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was awesome, man, because he was like right on the level of everything that I talk about. Because if you listen to their music, it's all about like, self-empowerment and seeking freedom and justice, right? So that's a lot of what I talk about. like truth related content, right? So he was all about like, yeah, dude, anytime I can have a discussion with like something about fighting for our freedom, that I'm down, right? So yeah, he was awesome.
Sounds like a
Uh,
good time.
yeah, Jennifer Murphy was on. She was the chick that did the "I want to be ninja" that
Oh,
song.
really?
Yeah,
You had her on the, oh my God, that song's been stuck in my head for years now.
yeah, dude.
Congrats.
She came on and I helped her promote like her. She's
Beds or
coming out with
sofas.
the new movie, the "I Want to Be Ninja" movie.
Or no way.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's done. I'm not sure if it's released yet, but yeah, she came on and we had a nice discussion about an hour and a half, and yeah, she was a sweet girl.
Doesn't she like
Um,
sell beds? Like, wasn't that like a bed commercial in the
yeah, she used to make Murphy beds. That's what it was called, and that was like a commercial for her beds, right? That ninja song, and then it just kind of exploded.
I mean, if you lived around this house that I live in, you would hear me singing that song from outside the windows. I'm always singing that song. I take like a rock approach, like
Yeah, I play it at work all the time, and me and the guys laugh all the time. It's hilarious.
there needs to be like an opera cover of it too, like I want to be ninja. Wow, you got that song stuck in my head. My poor girlfriend's gonna be hearing this for the next couple.
Yeah, another couple guests I had on back to back was Glue Leg and Star Beast. Like I contacted Glue Leg like a while ago, and then I went to go see Star Beast, and I met Ruben there. I saw you there. I don't know if we met, but it was when Android Meme was playing and
Yeah, at the
Full
Polo.
Fragment. Yeah, and I got to meet yeah, the Star Beast, the band, and uh yeah, Ruben agreed to come on. So, and then I had those interviews back to back. And for me, that was like a dream come true because I've always been a huge Glue Leg fan, right? So it was just like so fucking awesome. And the cool thing, the funny thing is that I went to go see I Mother Earth and Tea Party, and Andrew from Star Beast was like standing right next to me. And
Oh,
he's like,
cool.
dude, you're Dave, right? I'm like, yeah. It was crazy. So we hung out the whole night.
Well, a little self-promotion here. I'm actually grabbing a chat with Starbeast on May 4th, and they're doing
Nice.
it at the Horseshoe Tavern. Will you be there?
That's the May 4th, right? Yeah. Yeah, Len and I was just on Len's show, like I said, and he really wants me to come. He's gonna put me on the guest list, so I'll probably go.
Guest list bros.
Go. Um, well, something else I was gonna say about that. Uh Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I have
What
that
is
effect on people.
what are some of your favorite artists that you got to meet and interview?
Well, that goes back. Frill Fragment, you mentioned. I just had them on. I enjoyed my chat with them. I say the biggest uh I guess well-known name was Finger 11.
Okay.
Um Ed the Sock.
Nice.
I've had just a string of local talent on. I can name them all up. It'll take a while. I mean, more recently I had Harmonies, if you heard of them. Love Harmonies, big fan of them. Unfortunately, I the news that just hit of Mono Whales just breaking up, but I spoke to them a few years ago. Um, then we have the Android meme. I'm big friends and fans of the Android meme currently. I
Yes.
love the Android meme. Uh, if you see their newest lyric video, that was me for Window.
Okay, you did that.
Yes, and
Nice.
anybody listening, if you need lyric videos done, I do them for cheap.
There you go.
Is
You did-
shameless self promotion allowed on this show?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. Now that we cleared
That's what
that,
it's all about. Like you're on here to promote yourself, right? You take the stand and speak away, my friend.
I also do show posters and album and single covers as well.
Note to self. So you do art too. Like I wasn't aware of that. I thought you were just kind of like
Yeah,
an
no, I do
interview
some
guy.
graphic design. I do video editing. I have my own band, These Evil Eyes. I don't know, you can see I got a wall, all of These Evil Eyes stuff too. I do all the video editing. Um, I got a lot going on, man. I've got like 6 jobs.
That's
Not a
cool,
couple.
man. So how long was your band together?
We started in 2022,
Oh,
October
okay.
20. So baby band still. We're taking a little bit of a break. We had our first ever show on New Year's this year. Then our guitar player had a baby. So we're letting him be a papa while we cool off for a bit. And then we're gonna collect back together in the summer, hopefully.
Nice. Do you think Len's gonna get you on some shows with him or?
I sure hope so. That'd be fun. I would love to play with Frail Fragment. Frail
Yeah,
Fragment and now that's a dream for me. We're talking about dreams come true.
they're cool guys, man. All these guys are so cool. They're so down to earth and willing to help each other out. And I think that's a huge thing to really get going instead of it being like a competition kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like take people under your wing and like fly with them, that's I think even with my podcasting community that I'm involved in, we all help each other out. We're never bashing each other. We're always like, like even bigger names, they're all cool. They're not like assholes or anything. So there's some kind of stupid drama shit that happens every now and then, but for the most part, everybody's willing to like, oh, you want this done? I'll do that for you. I'll give you one freebie, and then the next one you got to pay, right? Because
Well,
it's cool like that.
yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're talking about. I did a bunch of stuff for Android Meme when it comes to their videos and stuff like that, and I worked for their t-shirts. I really wanted their shirts. So I said,
Yeah,
"All right, I'll make a music video for you, but I want that Ghostbusters shirt."
there you go.
And it was great. I had them in and we did a Ghostbusters review together for Frozen Empire. We went out, we watched it together, and then we did a review together as well.
Sweet. Yeah, Stefano's awesome, man. I met him when I first started doing my podcast. My A good friend of mine, Brad, he actually did my not my main intro, but like the song that I speak over in the
Okay.
intro and the outro. And he said, I have this friend that you would be that I think would be really good to have on your podcast, and it was Stefano. And he ended up being on my podcast like 6 7 times or something. And then before Vicky joined the band, I went out and jammed with them on bass
Oh
for,
yeah.
for a couple songs in the rehearsal studio, and then I had
At
them
Prime
all
Note?
on. Pardon?
Was the rehearsal studio Primo Notes Studios?
Fuck, I don't even remember what it was called.
I
It was
think
in
that's where we
Vaughan.
jam. I
It's in
love. Oh,
Vaughan.
okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
Shout
it's
out to
in
Primal
Vaughan.
Note Studios though. That place rocks.
What are they called?
Primal Note Studios. That's
Primal
actually where I
Note. Okay.
the Android meme for the first time. They have music festivals, kind of like a off the grid music fest inside of this rehearsal space. Well, it has a bunch of rehearsal studios and then one big spot where they shoot music videos. They have concerts, and there was I believe it was called Suspense Fest. It was a band, a member from a band called Souls Cut Cold. His name's Spencer, and he was having his birthday festival there, and Android Meme was on the roster, and I saw them. They came on with their makeup and everything, and I'm like, who are these guys? And then, uh, yeah, we met up at that fateful show at the Bovine Sex Club, and I met them there
That's cool,
officially.
man. Yeah, they're all great guys. I had Jake on too, by himself one time, their drummer. And yeah, Stefano's been on. Stefano was on multiple times, and he was even on debating a friend of mine who's a Christian, and of course Stefano's a Freemason. So I called it the Great Freemasonry Debate. Right? It was pretty cool. In the end of it, it was a little bit heated, but by the end, they both kind of agreed to disagree. So it was like a nice friendly debate, and I was proud of that one because yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. I get awesome people on here, man. It's like even people that aren't, quote unquote, doing things that we're doing, as a content creator. They have very interesting things to say about certain topics. So I just highly enjoy doing this. As I'm
Me
sure
too.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you would like a little bit more um, you know, traction with what you do, like myself too. I would love for this to be more a little bit bigger, but it is what it is, and I just enjoy doing it. So I'm going to continue to do that, and hopefully one day it'll just snowball, right?
Yeah, I want it to be my job. Like I want to
Yeah.
now that I'm juggling so many, jobs right now, it'd be really nice if I can, focus and, pump out like a few reviews a week, a few interviews a week. But like right now, I got to really pick and choose which ones I do. Next one being, have you ever watched Canada's Got Talent? Oh, Canada's Got Talent's on right now.
Oh
I'm
shit.
missing, I'm missing CGT for this. Glad to though. One of the contestants, I have a kind of slew of interviews that I've done with Canada's Got Talent contestants. I think maybe I've got maybe five now, and then on the 23rd I'll be interviewing Steve Goodtime, and he'll be my seventh Canada's Got Talent interview that I've had.
What's his specialty?
So when he was on Canada's Got Talent, I believe he went on. He's all about he brings the party. He's a character more than like he's an act. And he came on and he made musical corn dogs. So he went on and then he would eat a corn dog and it would make a sound. And I forgot what song he did. I think it was like "Come on, feel the noise." Dun, 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 dun. And I had to chat with this guy. So we're gonna get together on his roof on the 23rd, and yeah, hopefully we have a lot of fun.
That's cool. I'd like to do more in person podcasts as well. I
Yeah,
always just do Zoom or Spotify or whatever, right? But I mean, it's easier to like instead of traveling, right? So let's say I have a day job, So
that's why you
yeah, that's
gotta pick and choose which ones. And that's where I mean, originally it was Say Radio. That's where it started, where acts would come into the studio and I would interview them in an actual like radio studio. Then once I graduated, this little guy saved my life. My thing was going out to live shows and just interviewing bands like before or after they got off in the green room. And now I got like a 4K camera. I've got like editing software that I can, I've not mastered yet, but I'm getting there.
that's awesome. That's awesome, man. And you just keep pushing, man. That's all you got to do, really.
Yeah, it's the plan. I've got that. I've got a 3D printing business set up now that I just started more recently. I got a lot going on, yeah.
That's cool, man. You just got to keep plugging away, and eventually things will
Plug,
happen.
plug. So that's
Yeah,
how it
man.
be.
So, like, what are some of the other what kind of music does your band play?
We don't like to stick to a genre, really. I went into a weird southern accent there. Um, we, I would say, if anything, we're alt rock. Some of our songs are harder than the other ones. A lot of them that we have on Spotify right now. Yes, that's right. You can listen to These Evil Eyes on Spotify right now. Are of the
Hurry,
soft.
hurry, hurry.
Oh yeah. But we also do cover mashups. That's what we're kind of known for. We have a few that are on Spotify right now and a few on the way. But like
Covers, like cover songs?
so we take two cover songs, we put them into one, and then we kind of make it our own as well. Like our
Okay,
first one
okay.
was Save Your Tears by The Weeknd and Starlight by Muse. We put them together. It's called Save Your Starlight. Another one we did was Seven Nation Army and Sweet Dreams. We called Seven Nation Dreams. Both of those are on Spotify. You can listen to it on Spotify right now. You said I could, man. You said I could.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds cool. I gotta check it out for sure, dude. Yeah, and share it, you know, share this podcast with your
Appreciate
friends
it.
and family.
Yeah, definitely will.
And
And I get in touch with you about this podcast community because kind of been doing my own thing for quite a while. It'd be nice to meet others like
oh, for
ourselves.
sure, man. Like that's another thing I do a lot is get on other people's podcasts. So like if somebody like hears me on their show, they'll start like following me and start listening to mine too. And that's it's like a big snowball effect, like a ripple effect, right? So
I guess this us talking right now is an example of that.
absolutely,
Talking
yeah.
on the Monster Closet. That was the first time anybody's interviewed me. I mean, I've always been the interviewer, never the
See?
interviewee. Yeah. So, do I feel lucky?
Yeah, it happens, man. Like when I went on a podcast and they're like good friends of mine now. They're the Iowa Talk guys. And I've been on their show a couple times. And then like people from Iowa out of nowhere just started following me and then I interviewed this one girl that found me from there. And so it's got like this huge ripple effect. It's pretty awesome. I love it.
Yeah. I feel like I should have my logo in the background. Damn, it could have been right here.
Yeah, the Zoom thing has that option where you just put it behind you.
I didn't think about that until I saw yours. The red pill.
Cartel.
The red pill cartel.
I'm handing out red pills like a drug dealer.
Just getting them out there.
So, what are some of your favorite conspiracy theories?
Well,
Are there
let's
any
see.
that you actually believe in, or I'm a grain of salt kind of guy. Like I like to entertain the idea, but I don't necessarily believe in all of them.
I
Wholeheartedly
believe
anyway.
that they're I believe that they're trying to depopulate the earth a little bit.
That's a good one.
And I don't know how I can say this, but they're using tactics to you know, make people not interested in populating anymore. I won't
Yes, that's another
go
thing.
into it. I don't want to get canceled here, so I'm just going to say that.
That's fine. We can go into detail if you want.
What about those Miami aliens, huh? What about those?
Right? That's another one.
That's
Why
one
would
that
they send 50 cop cruisers for one knife fight?
yeah, and then everybody saw aliens.
Right.
But it's what gets me about that is like it's not everybody saying like, "Oh, they're aliens." They all describe them as the same as like kind of shadowy figures that kind of look like void of space. They just look like they're there but they're not there at the same time, like kind of glowing shadows that are
Kind of
kind of
like
like
hopping dimensions in real time.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then I don't know what's real, what's not real. I just think it's there's something's got to be real about that. But the pictures that came from it, they looked almost exactly like those people were describing, and I want to believe, but people can do anything with AI now, and you can
That's
just
that's
put
the
in
other.
shadow aliens in a Miami thing, and then you get all these pictures of it. So who knows, man? I haven't heard about that in a while.
Yeah, I did a show about that. Yeah, but definitely AI is something to be wary of because now we're going to be seeing shit that we don't even know if it's real or not. I mean, when I look at something that's AI, like created by AI, you can tell there's like flaws in there and shit. But like
All
a
in the
simple,
fingers, man.
got like 7 or like 10, 12 fingers or whatever, right? But yeah, there's like even the eclipse that just happened. Like now you got videos of people showing the eclipse and then they look over to the left and you see the moon there. And it's like, what's covering the sun? You know?
I guess I haven't seen any of those. I'd
Oh, yeah, dude, it's crazy. People are saying, oh, it's Planet X. Planet X covered the sun, right? And because if you look over,
then
and
what
it's
happened to
not
it is just it
cloudy
covered
that
the
day.
sun for those 10 minutes and then it just dipped.
Yeah. It was like people saw the moon to the left of the eclipse. And the day that of the eclipse where I was at work and it was super cloudy. You could barely see the eclipse. And as soon as the eclipse was over, the clouds cleared. So
Yeah.
people were saying, oh, they were chemtrailing heavy that day. And it's seeded the clouds so they could cover up the moon to the left. They didn't want you to see the moon there, right? And then right after the eclipse, it got clear and sunny and warm.
Yeah, I do remember it like that. I I actually I'm a writer as well. I've been writing a few books now, and it gave me a great idea for a story. I'm not going to get too much into it because I haven't written it yet, but
Okay.
it has to do with the world going blind due to an eclipse.
Mm. From them seeing it,
Yeah, well, from like everybody looking up at it, and it's like a super eclipse, so it burns through all the glasses, and then the world has to then work out how they're going to live with 80% of their population blind, and that's
that's
all I'll
pretty
get
interesting.
now.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I've started writing it, but got a few on the way, so it's going to take a little bit.
That's remember that? Did you see that movie? What's it called Bird Box?
Yes, yeah, no, it
Yeah.
it does have some similarity to Bird Box in the sense that, well, no, not really. They couldn't look at the monsters because then they would kill themselves.
Right, right. They did a sequel called
So
Bird
bad. It's
Box
so bad.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's bad, man. It
they
wasn't
tried
good.
to expand on it, but it was just like, ugh, God,
Have you ever seen
atrocious.
the picture of what the monster was supposed to look like to Sandra
No,
Bullock? It's supposed to be like this baby face kind of snake serpent. And I'm really glad that they just left the monster not being able to see him, because if they revealed that little thing like a Twilight baby snake monster, that would have just sunk the whole movie.
yeah, I like when movies like leave things up to your imagination rather than revealing everything. Like another cool one was I think it was called The Fourth Kind. Yeah,
Okay.
Fourth
Yeah, yeah.
Kind with Mila Jovovich was in that. It was like a documentary style, and like the one guy was like pretty much insane because he saw what this thing was, and he said it was like you can't I can't even describe it because it was so incomprehensibly evil. And they never show you what it looks like, but it disguises itself as an owl.
As an owl.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. And then, but like it revealed itself to this one guy, and he went fucking insane because he's like, I can't comprehend what I saw. Therefore, I'm crazy now.
That sounds like Bird Box too.
Kinda, yeah. But it was like took place in Alaska, and it was like interviewing people, like a documentary style. So it was kind
Oh,
of cool. Yeah.
what's the last movie that you saw in movie theaters?
I haven't been to a movie theater since like pre-COVID.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been mainly streaming at home now.
Really?
I think the last movie I actually saw in the theater was Knives Out.
Like the first one, right?
Yeah, not Glass Onion, but the first one, yeah.
Damn, man. Well, like, what's like the last movie that you watched that you do a review on?
The last movie that I watched at home was probably well, it was an old one. And I never saw it before. It was called Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's
That
from I
sounds
think it was like 1981,
sounds fancy.
and it had do you know Christy McNichol?
No.
She was an actress back in like the 80s or whatever. Anyway, her brother was the star of it. But it was about this kid who grew up raised by his aunt because when he was a baby, his parents left him with the aunt, and they went off on a vacation, and a log truck, one of the logs fell out and nailed the guy in the
Knocked them
fucking
on the
face.
head.
And then the car veered off because she couldn't control it. It went off a cliff and she died too. So he's getting raised by his aunt, but then she ends up, he's like playing basketball in high school, and he wants to go to college for basketball. And so he wants to leave home. He's planning leaving home, but his aunt doesn't want him to leave. So she ends up doing shit to like make him stay home, such as the cable repair guy comes over and she tries to seduce him, and then she ends up murdering him. And then the son
That's-
comes home and he sees it happening, and she said, "He tried to rape me. He tried to rape me, so I killed him," right? And so like there's this whole like backstory of him and the aunt being investigated throughout the entire movie, and then the aunt just losing her fucking shit and going completely crazy. And by the end of the movie, it's like total slasher flick where the aunt is like a crazed fucking slasher. It's pretty wild.
You nut.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Other than that, I've been watching Fallout, the Fallout
Yeah,
series.
I was gonna say you gotta watch Fallout, man.
Yeah, I'm on episode 5 now. So,
Nice.
but yeah, I watched 3 episodes today because I was just hooked right in, man.
I loved Last of Us, but I think Fallout is a better show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to compare them both. It's just a lot more fun.
Yeah, dude, I want that armor.
I've never played any of the games. I thought they were all like you would start at one and then you would go, like consecutive, like the timeline. But apparently, none of the characters in the show are any of the characters in the games.
No.
And yeah, I was gonna like go play the game expecting to get like this story, like a similar story, but apparently, what like every game is a different story.
Yep. Yep. And the thing is with Fallout, it's its own universe, like Star Wars kind of thing. It's an alternate universe, right? So they could have did anything with the show. So what they're doing with the show, I think, is pretty awesome. Like with
Right.
Walton Goggins as Howard, man, like the Ghoul, awesome, so awesome.
Yeah, I thought like that was a character in the game, but apparently not. It's just
Ghouls
Ghouls
are
are
in the
characters.
game too, and they
Yeah, but
call
not like
humans smooth skins.
oh, but
Yeah,
like the Ghoul, like Walter Goggins' character is not in the game or not in the games, right? Like the cowboy one.
not that I'm aware of. I've been playing Fallout since the very beginning, so I think the first two were on PC only, and they were top-down strategy games.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was gonna start with number one, and he's like, "You want to start with New Vegas? Don't start with number one. Start with New
Start
Vegas."
with 3, and then New Vegas is the expansion of 3.
Oh,
I tried
well,
to play 4, and I couldn't get into it, man.
apparently it's really hard. Like the shooting is really hard, and that's what I thought
And
about Last of Us too. I was just like, I hate it. Die. Oh.
and
So
the
I
thing
gave up
about
on
4 too, they put on this like this building aspect to it, like you build your town, and you can it's so detailed, and I was just like, no, not
it.
for me. Where 3 is you just explore and kill, explore,
Yeah,
kill, explore, kill, and the
that's
story's awesome.
I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I think the last game I played was the Suicide Squad game, and I got old. That got old for me fast.
I heard that was horrible.
Yeah, it's I mean it's fun at first, and then you defeat the exact same bad guys the entire game. It's the same
Right,
like they don't upgrade. They don't get. I think they get maybe harder to kill, but it's the exact same things the entire game, and then you got the Justice League in there too.
right.
And it wasn't fun for me. I just like the what's it called? Just moving around the characters got a little too hard or just a little too complicated, and you got to kill this guy with this gun. You got to kill this guy, which usually is fun, it's switching it up, but it was just it got too repetitive, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, that
But
was
oh
is that the newest Suicide Squad game? Like it was like pretty
yes,
recent, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think there was the one before that, but the one I played before that was Star Wars Jedi. Those two games, oh my God, those games are amazing. It's like Uncharted, but with a lightsaber.
Okay. Yeah, I never as I got older, man, I just found that Star Wars to me really lost its luster because now we're just inundated with so much Star Wars, and I'm just like, I just can't do it. Like even the last three movies, 7, 8, 9, I was just like, I watched the Force Awakens. I tried to watch the second one, and I couldn't do it. And then I didn't even bother with the third one.
Well, I grew up on the prequels. So that's the prequels was my era of growing up with Star Wars. So I was just kind of meh for the new ones. Like I have to watch them. I've got to because I have to see what happens next. But it's the same thing with Marvel, man. Marvel is my
Yep.
religion. I've got to, even if I don't want to watch the show that bad, I've got to because I got to know what happens.
Sure.
I don't
Did
know
you
if you
watch?
can tell if I like Marvel or not, but I am a fan.
Did you watch Madam Web?
Of course, I have a review on my YouTube of Madam Web with Hot Apollo, if you've heard of that band from
Hot
Toronto.
Apollo. Okay, cool.
I
That's
give it a 3 out of 10.
that's what I've heard. I've been hearing.
You haven't seen it? Oh yeah, because yeah, you said you haven't gone out to watch a movie in a while.
Yeah, I wait till they come on like a streaming platform.
I love the whole sensation of going to the movie theater still, man. I still love it. I got one of those Sin Club members, so I haven't paid for a movie in a while, man. It's all scene points and stuff like that.
Nice. What's your
Yeah.
favorite movie of all time? Do you have
Ghostbusters.
one? The OG
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
Oh, the OG Ghostbusters, the
That's a
OG
good
GB.
that's a good pick.
Got a Ghostbusters tattoo on me, and then I've loved it ever since. Maybe not the 2016, but I've enjoyed the new ones somewhat. Find my review on my YouTube of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire with the Android meme. Woo!
No. Yeah, dude, I enjoyed the Afterlife.
Me too.
Actually, it made me fucking tear up at the end when I saw the OG guys coming, and it's not Egon. I was like, oh my god.
Actually, I have a funny story about that. I saw it in movie theaters with friends. This guy's a bit of a dramatic character. When Egon came out, he was so offended that they did the whole recreation of CGI of his face, and he stood up and he walked out. He's like, "This is bullshit. Everybody should be walking out right now." And I'm just like, "Shut up, man.
Wow.
You leave then. You leave." And then he was mad that I didn't leave. I'm not
I
gonna
would
leave.
think that oh my God, what's his name again? Harold Ramis. I
Yeah.
would think that Harold Ramis would be like smiling in his grave.
Yeah, no, it was
Rest
such
in
a good
peace.
send off towards him. I thought it was a great send off.
Yeah, dude, I was teared right up, man. I didn't see Frozen Empire yet, but yeah. What would you rate it?
Think I gave it an 8 out of 10, but
Oh,
that's mostly just because it was Ghostbusters. But if it wasn't Ghostbusters, that movie would have been more of a 6 or 5.
okay, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
A lot of things, that could have been cut. Like a lot of the characters, like it doesn't focus a lot on ghost busting. You get ghost busting at the beginning, you get ghost busting at the end, and then there's a whole truckload of,
Interesting.
I mean, a lot of characters, like a lot of characters too. But some had some redeeming factors, and I liked one thing. They brought it back to New York. New York is a character all in itself, and that needs to be the Ghostbusters setting. And now they're all working for the ghost. This is what I didn't get. All the characters of Afterlife just uprooted their lives from Summerhill or Somerville and then moved to New York, and they live in the Ghostbusters building now, like the firehouse, and they're all ghost busting. Every single main character from Afterlife moved to New York and now are Ghostbusters. And Ghostbusters have different sanctions. They have like an HR department. They have an IT tech research lab department.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
Just from the sound of
had
it.
potential. It had potential. I'll say that, and maybe it could have been fleshed out a little bit more. But eh,
What was the running time on it?
I don't know. It did seem really long, but I want to. It's around 2.5 hours. That's how I feel. Quote me on it if you got the actual runtime. Maybe here we'll
Okay.
put the runtime right here. Boom, boom, boom.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I have. We were when the whole eclipse thing happened. I get a lot of intel or information from people, right? From various sources. Being a conspiracy quote unquote podcaster, people send me shit all the time. I usually just kind of scroll past it because there's so much, right? But are you aware of the Large Hadron Collider CERN in I believe it's
Oh
Switzerland?
yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of that. Making the black hole, right, or something
yeah.
like that.
So there's multiple ones of those. There's even
Particle.
one in Canada. And during the eclipse, people were saying it was said that they're going to be firing up these colliders at during the eclipse, and they want to open up portals and shit, right? And there's multiple videos of people seeing like fucking creatures flying by the eclipse and like a UFO flying by, all these weird anomalies happening. And so people were saying, "Oh, CERN must have opened up these portals or whatever," right? So I came up with this theory that in Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters movie, when the containment unit fails, all the ghosts come out, right? So my theory was that CERN is basically trying to
Ghostbusters.
open up portals and bring in like the spiritual what entities into our world. It's like a metaphor for the Ghostbusters containment unit.
But why would they do that? Just for science?
Well, there's a whole lot of talk about that too. Like, when you want to go into the Bible and shit, like Satan wants to rule the world. So he's going to try and terraform our planet so the demons can inhabit our planet. All kinds of shit like that. Pretty
Well,
wild.
I not. I gotta go see Deadpool 3 before that happens.
There's a lot of shit I want to do before that happens.
That's the first thing I can think of. It's like Deadpool and Wolverine. I gotta watch that before the end of the world happens. Please, please.
But do you remember that speech that Winston Zeddemore was saying to, I believe it was Ray Stantz, when they're
Yeah,
driving, and he's
mobile.
talking about the apocalypse and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's like this shit's been talked about for fucking 2,000 years, right? So all this things that we watch and listen to or whatever, a lot of it's based on this whole good versus evil battle that we're in, dude.
I thought 2012 was gonna be the end of it all. I was
Well,
so
people
convinced.
thought 2000 was too.
Yeah. For me, I was obsessed with 2012.
I
Didn't
was
happen though.
I'm at the point now where it's like, anything's possible. Um, but when it comes to like the end of the world or whatever, I'm just like, yeah, people have been saying that for 2,000 years. Even back when the Bible was first published, it was like that's when people were like, "Oh, the end of the world is coming soon."
Hope it's a party.
Me too. And when people say or I'm going to hell for this, I say, buddy, I'm driving the bus.
Now that's a t-shirt.
For sure. Like for sure, Speed.
Quite,
So
quite.
what's your next plan of action? You got what's the next band you said you're interviewing?
So the next person I'm interviewing is Steve Goodtime on the 23rd. Then I'll be interviewing Star Beast on May 4th.
Right.
There's probably going to be some movie reviews in between then. I'm making a lyric video for Frail Fragment at the moment. Making a bunch of posters, selling all my 3D printed shit. Um,
What kind of stuff do you print?
uh, everything, man.
Butt plugs, guns, food.
I guess I shouldn't say. Um, well, I have started this cool thing where if any bands listening, you want a cool, it's all packed away right now, but I could have brought it out. I have a cool skull that I can put your band logo on and stuff, and you can have it on your merch table and stuff like that. It's really cool. I'll send you the picture if you can clip it in here or something.
Sure, dude. Uh, so is it all just like related to like music and stuff like that, or like?
I mean, I've been doing some custom pieces. I did one for Frail Fragment, and Android Meme. I did their logos. But no, it's really anything I see that I think is cool. Like some things I design, and then other things, I'll see. I saw, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yep.
Uh, there's him as the Pokemon Geodude. So it's just like his head with the Geodude arms, his real rock type Pokemon.
That's
So
hilarious.
I'll see shit like that, and I'm like, all right, I got to print this. Actually, you can see my printer. You can't really see it, it's dark, but it is right behind me there.
Okay, yeah.
Check it out.
So what? I'm not familiar with 3D printing. So what material does it use?
It uses something called filaments.
Filaments. Okay.
It's basically just, plastic, and it comes in a spool like this. And then there's a piece of the part that heats up the plastic to like a liquid form, and then it cools into a solid. And then what the printer does, it prints it down up or up, or like it prints it up, and it just builds layers and layers and layers and layers and layers until it's done.
That's fucking crazy. And is it expensive?
The one I have, yes. But tax returns just happened, and I was like, gotta get a printer.
There you go. Yeah. I'm still waiting on my return too.
I got that done pronto.
Awesome, man. So, okay, what do you want to plug here? Do you have like a website or just a do you have like a one-stop shop where it links you to everything like a link tree or what?
Well, essentially, if you go to everything and search at Dr. T Show, that is DRTSHOW, it's all one place. I got YouTube, I got Facebook, I got the Instagram, I got the TikTok. All Dr. T Show. If you wanted to hear my reviews and interviews a little bit earlier than the video, Dr. T Show 2 on SoundCloud. Um, I got Patreon too. If you go to my Patreon, you can see all my unedited interviews. There's also merch there. I can keep going, man. These Evil Eyes, same thing. My band. If you go to Spotify, all music platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, These Evil Eyes, that's my band as well.
Sounds good, man.
I can keep
Awesome.
going. Stay tuned for more reviews, news, and exclusive interviews on the Dr. T Show. Ow.
Awesome, man. Thanks for showing up. And if you want to come on some other time and maybe you and I can get on Lens Show again together or whatever, man. Sky's the limit.
Whoa. Thanks for having me on, Dave.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, brother. Have a good one.
Dude, later.
Peace.